everybody. It's 3 p.m. and it's time for dinner with Nanny Bubby. And I'm Nanny Bubby, and welcome to my show. Boy, I'm so excited to be here and just getting back into the groove of the new year and getting everything set up and ready to roll and rock and roll and everything else. Just want to reminding you, if you are tuning in, to go ahead and hit share and to share this video on your own page as we're going live. And if you do that, what you will find is that you get entered 2 times per day into our contest to win a Melissa's exotic tropical fruit basket. We're going to be pulling the winner on Friday, along with Robert Schuler, who's going to come back on with us and talk to us about the tropical fruit basket. And I should have here some beautiful pink pineapples to show all of you and discuss. So I'm very excited about all of that. So if you're just joining us, type a hello so I know who's here. I only see numbers. Can't tell who you are unless you type in the chat. Here comes some more people. Let's see, swipe left to reveal comments. Comments will appear here, but there's no comments. So I see everybody finding us. So let me tell you what we're making today. I have been going through the process since probably November. We started this process right after our 1 year anniversary in October of uploading all of the videos that we have done on Facebook throughout the last 15 months up into YouTube. What caused me to think about doing that is when Facebook went down that one day in October and nobody could get on Facebook. And I realized that I have so much content there on Facebook where you watch every day, where we've all gathered, that I didn't want to lose that content. So we began uploading all of the videos onto YouTube. And as I've been going through each video for the upload purpose, I have actually, hey Teresa, there you are. Thank you so much for being here. So happy the gang's all getting back together again. I have come across several things that I did last year that I absolutely loved. Hey Lene, hey everybody. Oh, and Tasha's here. Hello from Manhattan Beach. All right, Tasha. Actually, Tasha, I'm going to give you, and Tony Lemley is here. I want to give Tasha a shout out in just a minute, but just want to remind all of you that in order to enter the contest for Friday to win a tropical exotic fruit basket, as long as you live anywhere in the 50 United States, just go ahead right now, go to the share button on this live video and share this live on your own home page. And that way I'll be going live here, but you're also showing me going live. If you do it live, you enter 2 times each day that you do that. But if you're joining us after we've already been live and it's recorded, you can still do it and you get 1 entry. In order to get 2 entries per time. Hey, Frank Dunn. Love that Frank is always there, probably on both pages. He's going to tell me both on Brooklyn and on Frank. So he gets 4 entries, I guess, per day. Anyway, if you're not here live, try to get here live so you get those extra 2 entries, and include others and ask them to share as well, and then they will get entered as well. Every day I go in after the show and see who has shared throughout the 24 hours and also live here on the show. But as I was saying to all of you, have been going back through 15 months worth of videos, and one of the things that I saw that I actually did quite a bit of is this braised chicken thighs with the tomatillos and jalapenos. And I am so sorry, but Biggie is outside and he's crying to get in, so give me 1 minute. I forgot I let him out, so forgive me 1 second, please. Uh-oh, so sorry, Biggie. So sorry. Here you go. Come on in. Okay. All right. Can't leave poor little Biggie outside. There we go. Okay, I'm back. But I have to tell you, I love this recipe and I crave it. So my appetite is coming back from having been through the dreaded you-know-what disease in the last couple of weeks. And one of the things that I am absolutely craving is this chicken thighs braised with jalapenos and tomatillos. When I saw this recipe and found it for the first time, I never really knew what a tomatillo was, which actually looks like a green tomato is what they actually look like. These little green tomatillos. They come in husks. I've already thrown the husks away, but for those of you who are not familiar with tomatillos, this is the husk, just like on corn, although it's green. They're very tacky and sticky, so you take them off. Let's see. Tony says hello from North Carolina. Good to be back with you. Thank you so much for being here, Tony. So we're going to be chopping this up, but the first thing we're going to do is I want to mention just a couple of things to you. Number one, I received a book for the holidays for Christmas called Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat. I love this cookbook. My daughter gave it to me, and I've spent weeks just combing through it and reading and coming to understand all of the philosophies behind how we crave in everything that we eat salt, fat, acid, and heat. Hey, Judy, nice to see you. Everybody is coming here today. I'm so happy we're all back together. And one of the things that the book really talked about is how you heat your pan and how you brown and warm and saute whatever it is you're doing. Thank you, Judy. And so one of the things that I have a habit of doing is first, you know what, Lene, order it immediately. In fact, I was telling Tanya about it, and Tanya ordered it the day I told her about it as I was sitting in bed reading that book, because that and a John Grisham novel got me through COVID during that week. But one of the things that I came into contact and really became present to is that I have a really bad habit of taking my pan, putting it on the burner, pouring in olive oil, and then turning the burner on. And in this book, Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat, it made a very big deal about the proper way to heat your fat. And that is first to heat your pan, which I have done already while we were talking. I heated the pan. It's nice and warm. And then you put your fat in it. Now tell me, how many of you actually do that? Heat your pan. So type, just tell me, yes, that's how I do it. No, that isn't how I do it. Tell me exactly what it is that you do. Because I find that I absolutely had, and after I do it, this is the funny thing. After I do it, hi Yvette, nice to see you here. After I heat the pan, or after I pour the oil in and turn the heat on, I go, oh darn it, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to heat the pan first, and so I have become really conscious and trying really difficult to remind myself to first heat the pan and then put the olive oil in it, and or the butter or whatever it is. And the reason that you do that is because you don't want your oils to spend a lot of time in that heat. You want to just bring them right up to where you pour a little bit of, a little bit of water in it, and it sizzles. That way the toxins and the flavors don't get bitter and it's released. And Frank says it depends on the first couple of ingredients that he's going to go straight in with garlic, put the oil in cold. That is correct. Exactly. So let me grab these tongs. This is the one thing that I did not get. And I want to just get this oil covering the pan. I'm going to move the camera just a little bit. So, yep, Judy says she turns the pan on and then adds the olive oil and butter. So, see, I know that's the way that you're supposed to do it. I've, of course, always known that. But the problem is I have had a very bad habit of not doing that. And then I just sort of lost being present to how I'm doing it. And so that's what happens. So this saying it out loud to all of you and saying it to myself out loud also helps. I also want to say to Tasha, if you're listening, Tasha, give me a 1 if you're still here. And if you're listening, there we go. Can you hear the sizzle? So I'm putting in these chicken thighs. I'm putting them in skin down. I've already patted them dry. I've salted them front and back with salt and pepper. These are going to sit unturned in the heat, and a little bit of the olive oil. I love this pan because it's nice and wide. And the point of doing this is to get these to brown. And while these are browning, we're going to chop up the tomatillos. Now, as you know, because this is now the third time I'm actually making this on the show, but we've got some new people and I'm craving this for dinner. I just seems like whenever, like if I get sick or just, haven't been eating right for a couple of days, for some reason, this is my go-to. I just start craving this dish. I also want to tell you, just as an aside, what a blessing all of you were to me. Hey, Melissa Jacobs, nice to see you. Thanks for being here. What a blessing you all were to me, because I remember in October, we made that big 32 quart of chicken broth. It was a 3-day process for me as I walked you all through that. I ended up with 12 quarts of chicken soup. I used about 3 of them. So I had 9 quarts of chicken soup left. And when we all came down with COVID here in December, and you kind of lose your appetite. We didn't lose our taste and smell, but we did lose our appetite. How great was it just to take quarts of that chicken soup out and just warm it up and then just, drink that hot soup on your throat. I only have 1 quart left, so you can bet that in the next couple of weeks or so, I'm going to be absolutely making more, because sure enough, family and friends are going to get sick. And what is a better gift to give those that you love than a really nice, homemade quart of chicken broth that they can turn into soup or anything that you want. So, as you can see, these chicken thighs are browning right now. But here's the key to actually browning great food in a pan and getting an even browning on them is to take a heavy stock pot like this. You can see this, and literally putting it down right on top of all these chicken thighs. And so as it sits here, can you see that? It's just right on top of the pan. Let me move you over. See, there we go, so that you can see this. And it's just sitting right on top. We're going to get a nice even brown on this. Is that great? Okay. All right. So let's move over and let's chop up these tomatillos for the next few minutes. While that is browning, let me bring you over here. There we go. And we'll see. I'll show you just how beautiful and browned these chicken thighs are on the skin. I love this process. I always forget to teach it. And sometimes, just like heating your pan and putting your oil in, sometimes I forget to actually put this heavy Le Creuset stock pot Dutch oven on top. Now what we're doing is rendering out all of the fat that's coming out of that chicken skin, which is, fabulous stuff, as we know. And so we're going to reach over here. I'm going to grab my fabulous slicing knife, and we're going to start slicing up the tomatillos to put in. And again, this is, if you can see this, they're green, they're beautiful. This is about 1.5 pounds, 1.25 pounds maybe, of the tomatillos. And Judy says that she turns the pan on. So what else is going on? Tell me, what did you guys do during the holidays while I'm chopping up these tomatillos? Can you see that? Let me put this over here. That way you can watch. Can you hear everything? So Tasha, you mentioned yesterday when we were talking about the pink pineapple, Tasha, if you are here, that you frequently make pineapple carpaccio. And I was thinking that would make a really great segment next week when I do Channel 8. And I was wondering if you could forward to me that recipe, that sliced pink pineapple carpaccio that you talked about yesterday. That would be great. So if you're here, that would be super. How many of you shared today's segment on your own homepage? Do that for sure. Don't forget to do that. That way you can enter to win that exotic, fabulous, oh my gosh, my nose is itching. Sorry about that. That fruit basket when it will get delivered here on Thursday. And I will show it to you because 2 of you are absolutely going to win. Okay. And Robot just signed on to say that they are watching. You can see that at the bottom of the screen. So I'm getting my fair share of bots out there. I guess that's a good thing, right? Yeah, I don't know who that is. Okay, I think it's a bot. But anyway, so can you type, guys? Melissa Jacobs, anybody else who's watching? Lene, Teresa, what did you guys do interesting and fun during the holidays? Any new foods that you tried? What exactly have you been doing? Let's see. Got actually quite a few bots that suddenly started to pop on here, so that's fine. I don't know what the purpose of that is. Really don't know why the bots are out there, why people set them to show up, but nonetheless they do. Frank says, I never had a pink pineapple. Well, if you recollect from yesterday's interview, Frank and everybody else, the pink pineapple has only been developed for the last 5 years. It was developed about 5 years ago. Finally came out on the market, they said, in 2019, so about 3 years ago. And they're very rare and very hard to get. But they're starting to make it to the market, and Melissa's will start getting them at the end of this week, which is how I'm ending up with that pineapple. So if Tasha is still here, Tasha, if you and I can connect, I would love to get that recipe for what you uh, posted yesterday, which was the pink pineapple carpaccio. Judy says, forgot to mention about Temecula olive oil. They had great gift packages, and I sent to the Three Woods families in Massachusetts and Connecticut. I bet they loved that. I bet they loved it. Let me see what else you're saying here. I can't get it to, there we go. For Christmas gifts, and they love them. That's awesome. That's awesome. And Tasha says, yes, for the carpaccio recipe, please private message your email. I will do it. I will definitely do it. Thank you so much, Tasha. And tell me, and just tell all of us, Tasha, what was with that pineapple carpaccio? What else did you put with it? Just remind me and remind all of us what you did. I thought, and I will also make it here because I like to rehearse all my recipes that I do on the TV station right here on Nanny Bubby Facebook page. So you all always get a sneak peek, as you know. And those of you who are watching, and let's see, Tasha said, let's see, Lisa's here. Hey, Lisa, nice to see you. Melissa's Produce Facebook page and website is wonderful. You can like the Facebook page and get good updates. Well, there you go. There you go. And I know that Tasha has long been associated with Melissa's in terms of she's a foodie and really utilizes them quite frequently. So thank you so much, Tasha. And just remind us what you put with that pink pineapple carpaccio. Okay, everybody. So here we go. Let me just show you. There we have all the sliced tomatillos. Right, cardamom and cinnamon. I remember seeing that. That is amazing. Simple syrup plus mint chiffonade and pomegranate seeds. Okay, this is standing better and better and better. So Tasha, I'll be experimenting next week with the pink pineapple and the cardamom and the cinnamon and the pomegranate seeds and the mint and everything else. When I get that recipe from you, then everybody will watch me make it here so that next Thursday when I hit the air on Channel 8, I know exactly what I'm doing and I can be the expert on that recipe. All right, thumbs up. Okay, so let's take a look. If you're just joining us, and Lisa, I think it just said that you were here. You might have already been here, but don't remember to please share this on your own page, not in the Gather with Nanny Bubby page, although everyone did appreciate it because you got it there for everybody before I did. So thank you for that, Lisa. Okay, so we're taking this off. Again, this was a Dutch oven La Creuset, and I put this on top of the chicken thighs so that we can brown. It gives us a nice even brown. So let's take a look at how this looks. Ready? Peek here. Yes, look at that. Look at how beautiful and brown that skin is and how even it is. That's the beauty of that. There we go. Oh, that one's a beauty. So it looks like this side of the pan is a little hotter than the other side. So I'm going to turn just a couple of these over, turn up the heat just a little bit. There we go. And so that I can put the pot back on and continue to turn these back over just a few more minutes, and just so that these, I think that this burner, of course, because it's not a stove, it's just a burner. So there we go. That'll help us get that just a little bit brown again. Yep, golden brown. I bet pink pineapple would make a tasty chutney. I bet it does too. Hey, Mark Goldberg, how are you? Nice to see you. And everybody, so just a reminder for those of you who are joining right now for the first time, if you want to win a deluxe exotic fruit basket on Friday, and two of you will have the opportunity to win, then make sure you go right now and share this live video on your own page. If you're joining us after the live is over, still share it on your page. I get notified of that, and you can enter to win one time to try to show up tomorrow, so you can also win and have two entries tomorrow, anytime that you can. All right. So let's see. Frank has said something. Yep. Okay. I've got everybody's comments. And I'm going to just take a little bit of salt, and just with the kosher salt, I'm just going to salt a little bit of the tomatillos, allow them to sit, start getting their juices out, let them start to sweat as we put them back in here. And I can certainly hear this is getting more and more and more golden brown. I just need to grab this uh, cutting board here for all of you to see. It's actually quite heavy. So here we go. And what I have, which we're going to be adding, as soon as these brown and I turn them one more time, we're going to take the chicken thighs out. Oh, Mark, I'm sorry that you're at the oncologist, but I really hope that we are providing some respite of joy for you, and that when you tune in, it makes you happy, and it makes us happy to know that we're bringing you some feeling of being better and happy. So sorry about that, Mark. Okay. All right. So let's see how these are looking. Okay. Turn these over. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Can you guys see that? Look at that. Really, they're getting there. And on the one side, where the pot was not as hot, and I moved that to give it a little more heat. Go. So these are all turned over now, and I'm going to go ahead and put this pot right back on so that the bottom side of this gets a nice even browning as well. Okay, anybody else want to tell, does anybody actually ever made this recipe? Because I have posted the recipe for this several times. Um, And so just wondering if anybody's actually ever made it. The recipe also calls for chickpeas to be put into it. But I don't find that the chickpeas work really well with the tomatillos and the jalapenos, so I leave them out. The recipe calls that you could use rice with this, which I think maybe is a good idea, maybe even a Spanish rice. I actually think even some pasta would be great to put this on top of the pasta. I think that would make a really great accompaniment with this. So I'm just wondering if anybody has actually made it. So what we're going to do is we're going to transfer the chicken to a plate, and we're going to leave all of the fat into the plate. And as all this fat has rendered, we are going to add the onion, the garlic, We're going to stirring that, and then we're going to add the tomatillos. So, wow. So, Irenildo Armando dos Santos Armanda is watching. That's a mouthful, and we're happy to have you. So, okay, I think that's enough because at some point these are all going to come back into the pot, and we're just going to take them out and place them right into this other pan. And right into the fat, we are going to add the onions. This is just browned really nicely, very nicely. Whew. Getting hot, splattering all over. Okay, into the pan with the onions and the garlic. Onions are sliced very, very thin. The garlic is diced. There we go. There we go. Okay. And now we are going to put the jalapenos. Get these ready to go in. I always chop the jalapenos, the onions and garlic and any peppers, not necessarily bell peppers, but any peppers that I have, I always um, slice on the cutting board in a manner in which has either parchment paper under it. With regards to the jalapenos, I did the parchment paper and a paper towel on top of it. Just you don't want the juices from jalapenos and onions and garlic to get into your cutting board because you actually will never get it out. And you'll go to slice your beautiful new pink pineapple from Melissa Foods onto your cutting board, and you won't understand why all of a sudden you're tasting garlic. Like, why do I taste garlic in that pink pineapple? And it will be from the fact that you cut that garlic 3 days ago or 4 days ago on your cutting gloves. Literally, out of nowhere, I'll reach up and scratch my eye, and I'll have like a seed juice or something from the jalapenos still on my hands. And oh my gosh, you just can't live through that. It's just way too much. Just way too much. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper onto these onions and garlic just to sweat them out. So those of you who are here with me, and I'm going to post this into Nanny Bubby's VIP group later tonight, is when we finished our holiday gather, for those of you who joined the holiday gather, we had talked about doing a Valentine's Day gathering, not on Valentine's Day itself, but maybe around the 12th, 11th, or 12th, for those of you who wanted to explore some new recipes together with regards to the holiday gather for Valentine's Day. And of course, because I was out, I'm a bit behind, but I think I can still pull it off. So anybody who may be interested in the Valentine's Day cooking class with Nanny Bubby, just drop me a one right here, and we can explore. And I need to get a minimum of at least 10 people, and I'm not going to be advertising it all too much. So just kind of relying on all of our intimate friends who join us almost every day. Oh, good, Judy's in. Let's see who else might be in for the idea of it all. Okay, so I've got the jalapenos in here, and I will definitely post it. Yeah, you betcha, Tony. It sure is. Right? So the jalapenos, look how beautiful that is. You see this? I've been told that I can get a much better wide angle lens than my iPhone for these Facebook Lives. And I am really looking forward to doing that, let me tell you. Very much looking forward to that. Okay, so these look really quite good. So I'm just going to read through this recipe, even though I've made it a dozen times, and make sure Catherine Gallagher is here. Hi, Catherine. Add the tomatillos and half the jalapeno and season with salt and pepper. Add chicken stock and bring to a simmer. So in come the tomatillos at this point. Now this is really getting interesting, isn't it? The color is beautiful. I would say that, you know, there's a lot of green in this with the jalapenos and the tomatillos, that I would say using a red Fresno chili might be a really good idea too, because that would add, you know, red and green. I also think, even though the holidays are behind us, that when it's close to Christmas and I'm having friends for dinner, I love the idea of making something that is both red and green in it. So I think I would even add Fresno chili in with this, or red bell peppers, just to add that extra flavor and color for red and green for Christmas. Okay, so now we are going to add back in the chicken. And on top of this chicken, we are going to add four cups or more, just because we want it to come up a ways on the chicken, because we are now going to braise these chicken thighs and let them continue cooking in a braising stock. So here we go. You can hear them starting to sizzle again. Oh, how beautifully brown that is. Can you see that? Let me hold that up for you. Can you see it? Isn't that beautiful? Just beautiful. So putting the La Crusette on top really makes a difference. Really makes a beautiful difference. You get a nice, even browning both on top and bottom. Okay, there we go. So now what I love to use, if I don't have any of my own, which, as you know, I used it all for when I had COVID. And so I'm out of my chicken stock. I think I've got just 1 quart left. So I do need to make more, but when I don't have my own, I love to use this chicken bone broth. Let's see who else is here. Harish Connie is here, and Susie is here. Hey, Susie, nice to see you. Good afternoon to you as well. Just making some braised chicken thighs with tomatillos and onions and garlic, jalapenos. Beautiful, beautiful dish here. So there we go. It's a little bit harder to open than normal. Okay, and here goes the first 2 cups of chicken stock. And it calls for about 4, because what you want to do is you want this chicken stock to come up just above, there we go, just above the cooking line, just almost to the skin. And then we're just going to braise this chicken on a low fire for about 45 minutes. Make sure that all the chicken is completely done. That peeled much faster. There we go. Can you see that? And that's it. And that's the braised chicken thighs with tomatillos and jalapenos. If you can just tip down and just take a look at that. I'm going to take the top, and I am just going to cover this. There we go. And as it cooks on a low fire, starts to boil away. There we go. And we will have dinner in about 45 minutes, which is great. So, okay, just Hafiz Ashgar is here. So thank you so much for being here. So just a couple of reminders. Does any wine or vermouth go in? It does not. Not in this. Do I deliver? I would love to come to North Carolina and deliver to you, Tony. Let me tell you. I would say that this particular recipe does not call for our dry vermouth or our white wine. Of course, we all know that we use the dry vermouth instead of the white wine, which just gives so much amazing flavor. But this doesn't call for anything. But I would say that if you feel like it could use a little, would definitely say to do it. But you know, there's so much flavor with the jalapenos and even with the tomatillos that you might find that it's just not necessary. But I would say you could replace some of this chicken stock with white wine or a dry vermouth. That really wouldn't be a bad idea, Judy. You're very creative like that. I love that. Definitely love that. So here we go. That's it for today. Just a couple of reminders, if you will. Thank you, Susie. I'm glad you think it looks delicious. Just a couple of reminders. Go ahead and share this right now on your own Facebook page. That gives you 2 entries for the contest on Friday. Robert Schuler will be back on Friday so that we can pick the winner. Get your friends to come so that they too can get a chance to win. The more the merrier, the more chances you have to win. We're going to be giving away 2 baskets on Friday, and that will be sent to you directly from Melissa's Produce. Thank you, Susie. And also Thursday, which I'm very excited about, RW, who's the founder of Sin Vodka, who bottles Sin Vodka from Texas, is going to be here. We're going to make a great recipe with vodka, which I'm looking forward to. Also tomorrow, hey Linda, nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. Linda, if you go ahead and share this live right now on your own page, you will get 2 entries to win the Melissa's Produce Exotic Tropical Fruit Basket. So you just joined at the exact right time, can I just tell you? And join again tomorrow and the next day, because as many days as you do it, you get entries to win. So what I was going to also tell you is that I purchased these beautiful Roma tomatoes. I have no idea why all of a sudden, because tomatoes for all intents and purposes are out of season until summer, but these are coming out of Mexico and they're huge. Just look at these. These are organic Roma tomatoes. They're just beautiful. I am going to let them ripen up through tomorrow, and then let me tell you what I'm going to do tomorrow with you. I am going to make homemade tomato paste. Homemade tomato paste, which literally is going to taste like candy. It's going to taste like sweet tomato candy. So join me tomorrow and we'll start going through that. It's probably going to be about a 2-day process, but whatever dish I make on Thursday with the vodka, with Sin Vodka, with RW, is probably going to have to be in some sort of a tomato sauce, like pasta alla vodka, which would be absolutely fun and fabulous. So thank you so much for joining me today. On the count of 3, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Go out and, ready? Spread love like butter. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining me.